Be ready. 5 seconds. Start. Before this discussion was started by our Bharatiya Janata Party friends, I was under the impression that there was a broad consensus on foreign policy matters. But after listening to the main speaker from the Bharatiya Janata Party, Professor Malhotra, I feel that he deviated from almost every aspect of India's foreign policy. I am sorry if it is the considered opinion of that party because he was applauded by the members of that group. I am afraid we are drifting from the broad consensus that we were having. There was a good arrangement with the Chinese president recently in India. There is a broad consensus in our country and abroad also that the relations that were sore in the past between the two largest countries of the world are getting back to normal and the differences are being sorted out. One of the most important aspects in this recent agreement is the confidence building measures. That is also an important point. When the forces are opposite each other on the border between the two countries, some error may take place, some event may take place that may damage the prospects of friendly relations between the two neighbors. That is why I feel and everybody must feel that the agreements that have been reached by these two countries are in the general interest of our country as also in the interest of peace and tranquility. The relations between the two countries must be preserved at any cost, and we have already gained something by this. Madam, I read it in today's newspapers perhaps that the Chinese president, while speaking in Pakistan, said that the dispute on Kashmir is an issue between India and Pakistan and it must be settled between the two countries. There will be no mediation from China's side. The import of that speech or approach of the Chinese president was that they wanted to be neutral in any dispute between India and Pakistan. Till the other day, I was under the impression that China was tilting towards Pakistan in spite of their efforts to build a good relationship with India. However, these agreements with China must lead to good relations and they must discourage the Pakistani leadership from antagonizing India on various issues that may help in bringing some thaw in relations between India and Pakistan. That will be one positive result. I appeal to the Bharatiya Janata Party friends not to rake up other issues like the Tibetan issue, etc. unnecessarily. All these things were solved by history, and you cannot reopen historical events by mere speeches in the parliament. That unnecessarily vitiates the atmosphere. The second point that I would like to mention about our relations with Pakistan is this. Srimati Elva was saying that the SARC was the main instrument to bring about development and advancement in the region. I do agree with that. She was pointing out as to why the SARC was not advancing during this recent period. I think it is because of the bad relations between India and Pakistan. Pakistan is not willing to solve any major dispute with our country. If the Kashmir issue, which they say is the bone of contention between India and Pakistan, is solved on the basis of the Simla Agreement and Pakistan is persuaded to accept it, I feel many other problems will be solved. I think we must pay full attention to and be vigilant about the conspiracies in Kashmir, the attempts from across the border to help the terrorists, train them and send them here with arms. At the same time, we must also talk to them so as to resolve the disputes that are there between our two countries. This will help in strengthening the SAARC activities also in the region. Recently, our Prime Minister attended a conference at Harare. From the papers that were sent to the parliament members and also from the reports that I read, I think our Prime Minister did well. I think he has alerted the developing countries about the activities of the developed countries, especially with regard to the forthcoming ministerial conference of the WTO. I think he has alerted these developing nations, the G15 group of countries. That was the correct approach. Though we could win the Security Council seat, we have achieved something in the Harare conference by utilizing all these G15 countries so that all the G77 countries or the non-aligned countries or the members of WTO take a united stand with regard to unnecessary debating points that are being raised by some Western countries or some developed countries. There are so many things, whether it is the social clause or the investment clause, on which they are trying to consolidate their position in WTO. In the interest of developing countries, it should not be allowed. I think that is one of the major victories or major successes which our government achieved by attending the Harare conference.